Hello, this is Jorge Herrera, passionate promoter of the infinite banking concept. This morning, I tried to present a Facebook Live. Today is February 1st, 2022. I had technical difficulties and I had to delete those videos that I made. But I wanted to leave some kind of a presentation because I don't want to. I want to be consistent. I want to be here on Facebook and YouTube on Tuesdays to present some value. And the reason I decided to talk today about economics is because it's very pertinent to the time that we're living. We are seeing a very high inflation, and we know that we're getting higher taxes because of the new regime that we have in government. So those are two things that the infinite banking concept can help us a lot with. That's why I want people to learn that. I want people to learn that the infinite banking concept is a good solution to protect people from inflation and paying too much taxes. This solution was created by Nelson Nash, and it uses an insurance platform and a specially designed whole life insurance contract and banking strategies. Basically, we are capitalizing there is our money, so we use our money to get better results and to succeed in life, because the economic system, it is controlled by the banksters and the Federal Reserve, and it's not to our benefit. They are private institutions, and they were created for profit. So you need to understand that our interest is not in their minds before their own interest. So whatever decision they make is because it's going to benefit them. Now, I decided to talk about this because 2 days ago, I got this book, Lords of Easy Money, from Christopher Leonard. This is a business reporter has written a couple of other books, very successful. One is The Meat Racket, which talks about the monopoly in the meat market. And he wrote another book, it's called Cockland, and it is in reference to corporations and deals that are done by corporations that does not help the people. So this book, Lords of Easy Money, came now on 2022. And this book is a good review of the influence of the Federal Reserve in our economic system. And most of it is devastating because they control the cost of money, the creation of money, and they can assign winners and losers. Most time, the winners are the well-connected. There are 12 main banks that make part of the Federal Reserve System, plus other institutions that are close to them, that when the Federal Reserve creates new money out of nowhere, those are the ones that receive that money first. so they benefit greatly from that. So that's what the book is about, is trying to present to the public the problems that the Federal Reserve creates. I decided to name the worst year since the creation of the United States, and I assigned that title of the worst year to 1913. Why? Because in that year, the Federal Reserve and the IRS were created. And I don't think you can get anything worse than that. Because if you look at any problems in the world, it's got the signature of the Federal Reserve in it. So I wanted to let you know that, and I wanted to let you know that the infinite banking concept is good. It helps you create, grow capital in a tax-deferred environment. It protects your money. It is a private process where the government and financial institutions don't get their hands in. There is also a situation where you can receive guaranteed interest in a real compound interest environment plus dividends, because in reality you become an owner of an institution, a mutual life insurance contracts. That mutual means that it's owned by the policy owners. The other type of insurance companies that we know of are the ones that are sold in the market, and they have two owners. They have shareholders and policy owners. With the mutual insurance companies, is only one owner, the owner of life insurance policy. So that makes a big difference, because either you respond to two masters or only one. So that's the advantage. Well, I wanted to let you know about it, and well, I mentioned Ron Paul. Well, Ron Paul, a congressman for Texas, that he served for several years. Back in the 1980s, he was warning us of the growth of government, and he has been for the longest time an advocate of terminating the Federal Reserve System. And he also talks about the intervention on our international policy from the government that is really not the best one, because we don't have to be messing in other countries' affairs, because that creates resentments, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people in the world hate the United States. It's not because we have had prosperity, but because we have invaded too many countries and create problems in their systems, in their governments. So that's the reason why Ron Paul was always warning us of those problems. And in respect to the Federal Reserve, well, he is an Austrian economist, and he understands very good the business cycle. So that's why he has always warned us about the Federal Reserve and work hard to try to eliminate it. Now, when I started reading this book, The Lords of Easy Money, in the second chapter, I found a comment that I didn't like much. Somehow, the author was making an affirmation that there is a need for a central bank in an economy, in a growing economy like in the case of the United States. But the problem with that is that it centralizes the power, and wherever there is unrestricted power, there is a lot of abuse. So there are other solutions for that. Probably some supervision from a government institution on the banking system, but we don't need a central bank. So if you want to learn more about the infinite banking concept and want to talk to me about those issues of money and government and the Federal Reserve, well, we can talk about that. And we can also talk about the infinite banking concept, and we can talk about personal growth. And I also like the home-based business. So we can talk about those themes. So you can reach me at jorgeherrera.com. See you next time.